There are so many things on this journey that fucked us over. Reprogramming consciously and subconsciously beliefs, ideas, thoughts, behaviors that we had to say goodbye to in order for be here today, having and enjoying the life as a business owner, as a female entrepreneur. But that wasn't the case always for us. That's why on this segment, every Monday, we are getting together with Lucy Becker to bring to you the segment of the things that fucked us over. It's just a normal conversation between two female entrepreneurs that enjoy their businesses, that are thriving with their businesses, to share in a raw, real way what are the things that we had to overcome and how we did it and why we did it and what is the impact and results on your money mindset and your ability to grow your business. It's a very fun conversation, and I can wait for you to listen to this segment that we have for you. How was that party, please?
Oh my God. Okay, so we've been planning it for like 12 weeks, and it was basically just like me and my sister went to an event, and she came to my house, and we're like sitting at my kitchen table, and she's just like, man, I could run a queer club. I could totally do this. I'm like, well, like owning a club is like fabulously expensive. It's so
Yeah.
expensive and hard to run a club. I'm like, what if we just ran an event? Like, what if we just did like a one time, and then it's just like, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't matter. So we're just like, fuck it, let's run an all women's nightclub. And so within like 24 hours, we'd like booked a venue, we'd like
Wow. Wow.
and yeah, so that was on Saturday, and it was like everything that we imagined it to be, and it was so amazing. We had like 200 people come through.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
It was like a full nightclub, and it was like women only and like
Yeah.
women identifying. And it was so much fun, and it was so safe, and people just like wore whatever they want. And then I ended up being the MC for it. So like I was on stage talking all night, and it was, oh my God, the ultimate like for the plot. Like
Yeah.
neither of us have like run a nightclub. We've both run events before.
Yeah.
We were just like, fuck it, like nobody else is doing it. Let's just do it.
How
And it
amazing is
was
that? Okay, so let's just, I'm gonna give people first the background, like why are we here? This is a new segment of the Money Mindset show, and basically is having this talk of the things that really mess up with our heads, that the things that we had to let go on, entrepreneurial journey. And it's real talk. Like, this is like, not everybody is gonna put up a party in 24 hours and say, you know what, I'm gonna do it. No, because the moment that you think like, oh shit, can I do it, there's a lot of people that just like backs up from the idea of it, not even
mm,
like, and they don't entertain this idea. And that is the kind of things that I find so exciting, and that's why I told Lucy that I want you to introduce yourself in a second. Let's do this, because I have known Lucy since 2019 already, back in New
yeah.
Zealand.
Oh, holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, it has been a long, long journey. And it's just like, I always, like, we always have found like common mind, like way of thinkings that are not common for the general public. And for us it's
Mm,
just like, yeah, why not? Like, I remember one episode that we recorded together, about your story when you had your other business, and you were like, I don't want to wait for retirement to live my life, like, no, that's not me. So I really, this is what we need. This is the freshness and the lightness that we need. We are here for it.
sounds like a non-answer. It's just like, oh, just
Yeah.
stop caring, like, but you
Yeah.
can't just like not give a shit, like, and
Right.
we're saying like over this weekend doing this nightclub, like who fucking does that? Like, and we're saying like, oh, we're doing it for the plot, sort of thing. It's like the
Yeah.
definition of like fuck around and find out. Like, no, we've never done this before, and it was like literally amazing. It was like. Just like and all the feedback and like everyone wants us to do it again, and we're like, maybe, like, we know.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we feel like it.
And that's the most fun part because we have forgotten to have fun. Like I went to this conference, when was it? Thursday or Friday? I don't remember.
Mm,
I don't know what day is today. But I went to this conference and then I found they were all around startups. And I found this guy that literally was like pitching his startup that digitalize like art, what is it, country art, like the assets of the country or whatever. It created a whole wonderful thing. And I'm like, okay, so do you work here for something? Like, no, this is my side job. I just do this for the fun of it. I'm like, you have put yourself through all of this just for the fun of it. It's like,
mm.
yes, I have my 9 to 5 job that I like. I just do this on the side, and we have raised 1.5 million. And like, what? Like, wait, what? I want you on my podcast. I'm trying to lobby him to come here on the podcast because but he is this kind of person that literally embodies the I'm just doing it because I like it, because it's fun for myself. But that's not the business mentality. That's
Mhm,
certainly not the mentality of an entrepreneur who is looking to increase income or who is looking to have more money, right? So
mm,
I know I just pick on our notes. Yes, people, we have notes. We try to see what we're gonna talk about, and I want to dive into this. It's not about the money because I think that's the one piece of I want to say crap, but not crap. That's the one. That's the type of information that really fucked us over. That
mm,
business is about the money or is about the purpose. Like they are mutually exclusive. And if you are about the money, then forget about your whole well-being and forget about what you want and just work, 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 work until your effort pays off. Or if you're not about that, then you have to be 100% zen and just have fun and forget about it. It's just like, nah, there's a whole mindset there that I don't like. But I want to hear this story too.
Oh yeah. So I think the prompt that I put in there is like it's not about the money. Um,
Yeah,
which is funny because we love money. I
we
love
we
it. And like
do.
every time yeah, believe it or not, like I
Yeah,
love it too.
no,
It's
yeah.
like I'm not doing this just like I talk about it because like it is like my life's purpose. I think talking about love and like I was born to love very deeply and to like show other people that that's possible. Um, but this story was like it's not about money. It's not about like earning money. It's about it's the way you think about money that's more important.
Mm, mm.
So I remember like I had just quit my part-time job to go like full-time in my first business. Um, and it was like the most stressful 3 months of my entire I think my body aged like 2 years and about 3 months, like physiologically aged.
Wow.
Because like I do scans and stuff at the gym, and it like
Yeah.
aged about 2 years physically.
Oh wow.
Um, oh my God. And I remember I was like super stressed out, and I was like $1,000 in overdraft or something like that. I was like, oh my gosh, like I thought like if I started living my purpose, like I thought that was it. Like I thought money was gonna start coming. And I remember writing this journal entry like, oh my gosh, like this client is going to know that I'm a fraud and I can't afford to pay them their money back. And like everyone's going to know that I'm failing, even though I quit my job. I'm going to have to ask
Mm.
for my old job back. And I was like, whatever it was, like $1,000 in overdraft, I think. I was like losing my mind. And then like a year later, I was $1,800 in overdraft. And I was like the happiest and like most fulfilled I'd ever been in my fucking life. I was like living the dream and I was like even further in debt and it was like amazing. Um, and like there was like a few shifts that we should go through, right? Couple of shifts. So like number one was getting like really I got into the nitty gritty of like what bills were coming up, because I think like half of the battle was like not knowing what was coming and not knowing if I could
Mm.
afford to pay it off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like the unknown is always a lot more terrifying.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
being too afraid to look at your money is like one of the things that I changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely one of the things I changed. Yeah. What did we do? Because like obviously, because you and I were talking about this, like, you gotta like force yourself to go through these things. You know, like if you're not working for yourself, if you're not trying shit, if you're not like doing it for the plot, you could go your whole life and like never know these things. So like
Exactly.
forcing myself, like forcing Carl to like go through all of these changes. Um, and so yeah, like number one was getting like actually looking at and being like, I have X amount of dollars going out on this date, and I have like an invoice coming in before that. Like, oh, I can actually
Right.
afford it. Like I can like
Right.
physically afford it.
Yeah.
um, and then the other thing I started doing was like accepting all forms of money, because I think we get
Mm.
really worked up about like, oh, I'm not paying bills from my business yet, so my business isn't succeeding. Or like, oh, I'm gonna have to go back to my 9 to 5. And so like any money that came in that wasn't from like coaching clients or from like my writing clients, I was like, that money's not good enough. And so
Oh,
I started, I know, like, isn't
good
that
one.
yuck?
Yeah.
So like starting to accept money from like all of my side hustles, from like random gifts, money that I found, like refunds that were coming through. I was like, it's real money that pays real bills.
Right. Right.
So like,
Because
yeah.
let me just say how deep that sinks, because shit, there are a lot of things to unpack there, right?
Yeah.
Just the language that we use is real bills, but not real money.
Yeah.
What the hell are we talking about here? And it's just like it's so true to what the reality of many is. It's so
Mm,
true what my reality was when I was studying as well, because we have been taught that the bills are real,
mm,
like the invoices that you get are real, but the little money that you're doing is like, oh, it's just for giggles. How impactful is that? It's just like, no, people, this is things that you are making. And I don't know where we're gonna stop on thinking that $1, €1 is less valuable than €1,000 in your
yeah.
business.
Yeah. And that was the thing, like, so because like I'd quit my part-time job, and so I had like a few retainer clients like on the books, and then I was like, selling a few like digital products, and then I started a few side hustles, but like selling one ebook meant that I could like take myself out for coffee. And I'm like, that's real money paying for a real thing. Like it doesn't mean
Right,
that like you can
right.
still use that money. So that was like a massive shift for me, because I was getting so tied up in knots about like, oh, but it's not from my business. Like, oh, like,
Right.
oh,
Right.
like I wasted so much time stressing about it so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And so like instead of thinking about like, oh, like I have to have another side hustle to pay for it, so it's not working.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
changed it to more like I'm willing to do whatever it fucking takes to not go back to that job. Like there was just
Just
not
take
an
me. Take me.
opportunity. Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
available for that. I maintain that I'm like unemployable now. I don't think I could go back to a real job. And then the last sort of thing that I did, because as I said, like I was way more in debt, but I was like killing it. I was feeling so good. So the last thing I did was obviously change the narrative around that a little bit, from like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, to isn't it fun knowing that everything's working out? And then it always does.
Uh,
And it always has. It always has. So like whenever I
mm,
like can't see the end, I'm just like, it's just fun. It's fun knowing that like I don't know how it's gonna work out, but it's fun knowing that it will. Like, and then it always
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, this has been one of the most difficult and deep beliefs that I had myself to
mm,
start like reprogramming the definitions of isn't it fun to just let it happen,
mm,
because I just realized this over the weekend. Like I said, I'm on the back end building a huge, massive thing that I'm so excited to hopefully one day put it out there in the world. But it's like I have no fucking clue how I'm gonna make it happen. Like I know it's
boy.
good. I know the idea. I know everything. I know every single part, but I don't know how to build. I don't know how it's gonna. I have no clue of it. So it has been like 2 weeks me getting into my notes, getting into my all of that. I'm super happy, super inspired. And this morning I woke up and like, and how you're gonna make it work? Why are you wasting your time on this? Why like all of this talk? I'm like, wait, I don't know, and I don't care. I'm just gonna do it, right? But I have to talk myself out of it
Mm,
because it's still there is a lot of layers for me, and of course that clearly see where that comes from. It comes from my father. It comes from my mom. Also, their fathers and mother. Like
mm,
if I see my whole generation, it's like fun is not rewarding you in the
mm,
financial sense.
mm,
It's the same deep belief that I see over and over again. Actually, I just wrote about clearing generational trauma with money as part of it
mm,
because I see the belief coming through even my great grandma. It's like you
mm,
have fun, but then you have to be serious to make business, to make financial, right?
mm,
So when building this massive thing, I'm like having fun and I'm like making it. And I know this is great. I know this is how you build a business, but there is still this mind that comes, this part of mind that comes like, okay, but seriously, how you're going to make it work?
mm.
And I'm like, I'm being serious. Like I'm having fun, but I'm being serious with this too.